Well, imagine being told you have just a few years left to live. There's a promising cutting-edge treatment that could extend your life, but no amount of money can buy it.
Yeah, it's happening to many patients. KPIX 5 Juliette Goodrich has this original report on their quest for a dosage of hope.
KPIX 5 was contacted by a woman who lives here in the Bay Area. Her name is Gwen, and she is fighting for her life. Gwen Peterson moved to San Francisco 8 years ago. Within weeks, she met the love of her life.
We met the old-fashioned way in a bar.
Soon, Gwen and Nate married. The young couple was looking forward to starting a family. But before they could even celebrate their first wedding anniversary,
My left foot was dragging and scuffing on the ground, which led to dozens of falls, trips to the ER.
Gwen would end up diagnosed with a progressive neurological disease called ALS.
ALS is 100% fatal, unfortunately. Patients usually live 2 to 5 years after their first symptom.
ALS attacks nerve cells in the brain and spinal cord, robbing people of their ability to move, speak, and ultimately breathe.
The first thought is, well, what do we do about this? What's our action? How do we get treatment for this?
Treatment includes only 2 approved drugs that show modest benefit.
It's so hard being 32 years old, diagnosed with a disease that is still a death sentence, and not want to fight. I immediately wanted to start fighting.
The clock was ticking. Gwen had to choose between getting pregnant or joining a clinical trial.
It was an extremely difficult decision.
She enrolled in a study that uses adult stem cells harvested from a bone in her body. These cells are cultured in a lab to produce a substance that helps nerves stay healthy.
It gives us hope.
The hope the therapy would slow or prevent the progression of the disease. Gwen says it worked for her.
I have no doubt that I have stabilized.
The trial ended, but the FDA stated the results do not help a majority of patients. Those running the trial believe there is a benefit for a smaller group. The therapy remains unapproved and out of reach.
When an individual has this death sentence, I believe that they should have access to drugs that show promise. The Subcommittee on Health.
U.S. Representative Anna Eshoo from the Bay Area recently chaired a hearing on neurodegenerative diseases.
Make the FDA act.
The panel heard from patients urging lawmakers to ensure the FDA act with greater speed and flexibility. They also want companies to make it easier for patients to more quickly gain access to promising unapproved therapies.
When you are suffering and every single day your body is dying, then I think patients deserve to have the dosages of hope.
50 million Americans are affected by neurological disorders such as ALS, Alzheimer's, Huntington's, and Parkinson's. Treatments for these conditions take on average 50% longer to reach approval. These patients don't have that kind of time.
We have more treatments in the pipeline than ever. However, we need access.
Every day I see the challenges of this disease and know that it's going to get worse. It is frightening, and so anything I can do to help keep her with me and, you know, be my best friend, like, is worth fighting for.
One way they're fighting, they're throwing their support behind 2 bills that are in front of Congress right now. If passed and signed into law, it would accelerate access to these promising therapies. In San Francisco, Juliette Goodrich, KPIX 5.